So, you're gonna play the new Fallout, but you just don't have the time to play 3 games in the next couple days. Pussy. Well, now, with the all-new
unnamed show,
you don't need to play a game ever again. Unless we didn't cover it, in which case, I mean, you gotta go buy that thing. So, as you probably know, Fallout is based off a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Well, how did that all start? How did the entire world end up screwed? How did the police and government fall so hard? Well, you're gonna find out, aren't you? So, before we start, some things have changed from how the real world history's gone. But nothing that important, except, you know, the invention of Mr. Handy and the US government told Vault-Tec to build underground bases in case of war. But of course, none of that's really that big of a deal. Alright, it started in 2052. Which is shockingly not today, where fossil fuels like uranium and oil are very, very scarce. Well, no one saw that coming. Oh boy, honey, I sure do love our fuel. But honey, haven't you heard? We're losing fossil fuels at an alarming rate. Oh please, Samantha, do you really believe those tabloids? We'll never run out of fuel. Anyway, in 2066, China invades Alaska because this is pretty much World War III. And because the US is, what the fuck is that word? Allied with Alaska, they jump into a double team. They jump into a double team on China.
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 China. China. China. China.
China.
China. China. China.
Then in 2077, someone shoots a nuke. Everyone's just like a bunch of little kids being like, no! Yes! No! Yes! And so, of course, the nuclear war starts. And in like just 2 hours, most of the major cities are, well, they've gone tits up. Okay, the rest of the story I've split up into like little chapters. So let's call this bit Chapter 1, if you want. 84 years after all this bollocks, in South California, Vault 13's water chip malfunctions. By the way, vaults are these things that I told you about. The US government got Vault-Tec to build vaults everywhere. These underground little places. This water chip purifies water, so, you know, you can drink it. And of course, like any human civilization, a machine dies, and we're probably gonna die with it. Just like a 14-year-old girl and her iPhone. In only 150 days, all the water will run out and everyone's gonna die. Yeah, I know, it's a bit of a bummer. So, the Overseer, who's this bloke, who's like the king of the vault, he like makes all the decisions, sends you into the outside wasteland to go and get you a new water chip. I'm bad at words. And by the way, this is where the game starts. Okay, Chapter 2. So very exciting. Will our protagonist get the water chip? Will Doc Brown ever accidentally travel into the wasteland? Will this useless list ever end? Let's find out. So, like a neglected child, you're outside for the first time. Is that too dark? Who cares? Your first course of action is to get to the closest vault, which is Vault 15, by the way. I don't know how that works. You're in Vault 13, but the closest one is 15. I don't fucking know. You get there, and the entire vault is, like, completely destroyed. And the residents have this weird little town called Sandy Shades. No, Shady Sands. Sandy Shades. So, in the mind of a horny teenage boy, you start going south. Okay, so some important stuff happens until you get to a city full of ghouls, which are these weird, like, half-mutant people. They've been subjected to too much radiation, and now, you know, they're just like... They look a bit like a meth addict after some Botox. Or like if the Hulk got hooked on meth, maybe. Anyway, under the city, there's an empty vault, which is Vault 12. All except a motherfucking water chip! Woo! Although our adventure is not over yet. We're back to the vault, and that's when we go to Chapter 3. The shortest chapter of them all. So, you're back at the vault. You're a hero. You're a savior. You're ready to relax and spend the rest of your days celebrating. Nope! The Overseer is a bit scared of super mutants, so you have to go back into the wasteland. Why me? I just came back. Send someone else. When did you end up being like the Overseer's little bitch? What did you do before me, the player, showed up? Characters. So lame. That's it. That's the whole of Chapter 3, by the way. I know, I'm a bit bad at structuring. Who cares? Okay, Chapter 4. This is like at least 3 movies by now. This game is so long. On your little adventures, when you're stuck out here, you bump into the Brotherhood of Steel. Because, of course, you can't have America without fighting and guns. America! Fuck yeah! Okay, this group is like a new sort of army, and they plan to kill all of the super mutants. Like, all of them. These guys give you some info on super mutants, and then a few weapons. Then you go on your way. From then, you walk all the way to Los Angeles, which is now called Boneyard. You walk to Los Angeles. Yeah, it's called Boneyard. And we find something kind of creepy. This guy called the Master, no, it has nothing to do with Doctor Who, by the way, who runs this weird little cult called the Cathedral of Children, who runs it from like a little prototype vault. Yeah, he's disguised as a child for some reason. Anyway, you blow up the place and you kill the Masters. The Masters? The Master. Just one, not plural. Then we found out the Master was making this creepy mutagen called Forced Evolution, which is supposed to make super mutants. So, like any tradition that we have in this game, blow up the entire place. We are pretty much a walking explosion. We have like Michael Bay shoes on or something. Okay, and then chapter 5 start. The final chapter. Okay, you return to the vault.
Done it. That's one.
What more can be asked of you? You've saved the entire population. You've cleared the most dangerous thing in the entire wasteland. You are a true hero. And like usual, you're not allowed in.
I'm sorry. You're a hero, and you have to leave.
Okay, the overseer says that if you might come back, then other people might like want to be a hero as well and go out into the wasteland. So because you're too heroic, you're exiled. Yep. And then the game ends. You never go back. And for all we know, you step away from the vault and a loose bag flies in your face and you choke to death right then and there. But there's more to know. Do you guys want me to cover the other 2 games that come out? If you do, make sure to leave a like and I'll start going on those other ones. Anyway, until next time, remember, the war was a lie. Wait, no, that's the wrong game reference.
Maybe you'll think of me when you are all alone.